Good morning, everybody, or welcome to a weekly message from Jesus. Each week, we bring you a live message from our Lord. He's been doing this now for several years. We have many of them available for you on YouTube, our YouTube channel. It's in my name, Barry Strohm. And I invite you to go back and listen to them. There's some incredible information he's given us through the years. So I know that our Father is waiting, so allow us to begin. Yes, everyone, hello. Each week I do try to bring you a message. And my message is so simple, it can be a little difficult at times, but I keep trying. I've been trying for thousands of years with humans to get them to pay attention to my message. I even came back and walked the earth, and you're getting ready to celebrate my demise on the cross and my resurrection. Many of you ask yourselves, why would I ever want to live a life where I would die such a violent death? And know that it was coming. I did. I knew that I had to, what I had to do. I knew that I had to create a death that everyone would remember. So a crucifixion was sadly for me at the time, but great for mankind, because people remembered my death. And then I resurrected. And many, many people celebrate this on what you call Easter Sunday. It is a fact that I did come back from the dead. My body was dead. My soul was never dead. I want to remind all of you of that your souls never die. Your souls have everlasting life, and your soul returns to heaven. And when you return to heaven, you understand whether you served my words and lived a good life or whether you didn't. But you'll still return to heaven, and you'll be placed in my realms, and you will find that my heaven is an absolutely incredible place. So it's well worthwhile for you to live a good life. You might think that it would be better to party and do illicit drugs and whatever you choose to do, even though it has bad effects on others. You may think that that's more important than trying to help others and show love and doing what I would really like you to do. But when you come back and you're judged, you'll understand that serving me is really the best route for you when you're living a human life. There are many people, and I've told you this many times, there's many people in remote areas that never even heard of me. For thousands of years, mankind existed before I returned. All those souls came to heaven. I was trying to send people back throughout all periods of human development. I was trying just simply to get them to live a good life, to help others. Primitive man had a lot to learn. It took a long time simply to make them learn how to use a soup bowl. Primitive man learned to live with others. Once man learned that it was better for groups of people to live together, that was a huge step for humanity. Now today, you've got people that are far better educated and have great ways of making a living and many ways of hearing my words. And you have groups today that have learned they can't live together. So I guess when you hate another group of people, it makes you far less intelligent than the most primitive humans, because they had to learn to get along to exist. And guess what? You're going to have to learn to get along to exist as well. That is why I say don't do anything that you don't want done to yourself. I'm sure that you want to associate with other people, to find happiness, to laugh with them, to dine with them. to have the enjoyment of group entertainments, of group discussions. Today, your governments are reaching a point where they don't have discussions or compromise. If one side thinks it's a good idea, the other side thinks it's a bad idea. If one side thinks it's a bad idea, the other side thinks it's a good idea. They're unwilling to compromise, and that's going to have disastrous results because humans have got to compromise. Humans are not always right. Odds are a human might make 50% bad decisions in his life. But you have to learn not to focus on those bad decisions that you make. You have to focus on what I want you to focus on. Living a good life, helping others, showing love, controlling your anger, not showing hatreds, not showing jealousies, not wanting what other people want. If you can just simply follow those simple rules, you'll be well on your way to living a great life and having a wonderful judgment when you return to heaven. There are many people that won't even accept the fact that I existed or I do exist. They say, well, I have no proof that God exists. Well, they've never tried to listen to the messages that come from Barry and Connie. And if they don't do that, they're passing up the opportunity to hear one of the greatest miracles that they could ever hear, which is me talking to them directly. Many people simply don't care. They don't care what happens to them in their afterlife because they don't believe in an afterlife. They think that when they die, when they've closed their eyes that final time, that it's all over. Why would I create a species and have it just simply end after all the time and development that I put into them? I love humans. I gave them free will, the ultimate opportunity to live their own lives and to do what they wanted to do. As I tell you many times, I could snap my fingers and all of you would believe in me and all of you would live good lives. But that is not the idea of a human life. The idea of a human life is to learn. And if I made all the decisions for you, how would you be learning from that? I want you to make decisions. I know you will make bad decisions, and I know you should make good decisions. Many people make many more bad decisions than good ones. And that results in them not following my words and not having a great decision time when they return. But they return and they will make a life plan to resurrect, or not resurrect. I'm the only one who could do that. Reincarnate is what I meant to say. They'll come back and they'll make a plan to live another life, and their guides will tell them what lessons they didn't learn in the prior life and have to be repeated. One of the worst ones is if you have great wealth and don't use it to help others. Then you create a karma that you will live lives of poverty into the future. And it depends how many people you hurt with your great wealth, how many lives of poverty you will live. That's why I can't do away with poverty. It's up to humans to do away with it. If everyone helps others, then they won't build the karma of poverty, and future lives will not have poverty in them. So poverty would go away. All you have to do is help others. So you see, there's these chain reactions, and I'm not talking about the atomic reactions, which are very dangerous, but there are chain reactions from how you treat others. Because if you treat them badly, you will be treated badly in future lives. If you create a bad karma in your present life, there's a good probability that something will happen as a karma for what you did. Each week, I talk to you about that spark of my energy that's in your heart. And that energy will help you know what's right and what's wrong. You can call it a conscience, you can call it whatever you want. But Humans basically know when they're doing right and they know when they're doing wrong. Now, there are many of the young that are not taught to do what is right. Today, poverty is rampant, but it's been that way throughout time. But humans can use their own abilities, their own decisions to pull themselves out of poverty, to work harder, to do what's right, to pray to me for guidance. And they can ultimately wind up in a good spot. If you pray to me and believe in me, you are in a good spot. But I guess I should have said you could make yourself into a place where it is a greater spot to be. The greatest spot to be is when you truly believe, when you don't fear death because you know it's going to be a miraculous time for your soul, when you are good to others, when you teach the young. That's when you're in a great spot, because then your judgment will be great when you return. It's all common sense. It's all knowing what is right and what is wrong. I watch from over here and I see people making the same mistake day after day. They think maybe because they have great wealth that they're God. Well, they can think that, but they certainly aren't. I am the only God. There is only one in this galaxy. There are angels, there are holy saints, there are individuals with souls that are very advanced from helping others through many lifetimes. But there's still only one God. However you wish to refer to me, you can call me Allah, the Spirit, the Source, whatever. I have no firm name. I'm an energy. I am a galactic energy that can be everywhere at the one time. There's no way you can understand that being a human. You only live in a three-dimensional world. Your soul is going to live in a world with multiple dimensions, many dimensions. And when you learn to traverse the different dimensions, it gives you great abilities. Nothing is what you believe it to be as a human. You think that you have obtained great information, and you think that you have the greatest knowledge of any humans that ever lived. Well, intellectual levels, many people through the thousands of years had great intellectual abilities. Some used them to serve me, some didn't. During the Renaissance, I sent back many souls with great intellectual abilities, great talents, great painters, great musicians, people that could create things of beauty. The Dark Ages were difficult for humans. Many died from sickness. Life was very difficult. So I felt that it was time that we would rejuvenate the human race. And I sent back souls that created what you refer to as the Renaissance. They created great music. They did good things. They created different Christian religions. They did many things. I truly wish the humans would once again create a renaissance. There are many people that are capable of doing great things, of great creations, but most of them don't use their abilities to the best that they can do. Many people just go from day to day and do what pleases them. And they do things to other people that if those other people did to them, they wouldn't be pleased. So that's just another way of saying my basic command. Don't do anything you don't want done to yourself. It's the great common sense. It's the golden rule, however you want to refer to it. Love and that golden rule is the foundation of all religions. Now, many religions have been subverted through the years. Many people have used religions to teach hatred. You're seeing that now in Iran. They have terrible leadership, and they claim that they are religious people. Could not be further from the truth. They kill people in the name of their religion. Why would they ever want to do something like that? Well, it's because they want to maintain personal powers. And they're going to find out that when they return, it's really not going to be what they think it is. They think that if they martyr themselves by killing other religious people, that they will obtain this great return to paradise. Oh, they'll return to paradise. There's no doubt about that. But they will be punished for the evil that they've done. When you take the life of another and cut their life plan short, that's very, very evil. Each individual has a right to live out their life plan. Sometimes it gets so difficult that the individuals decide that they'll take their own lives rather than face the realities of the human life of which you're living. Don't ever do that. You're creating great grief for anyone that's around you, and you're creating a situation where you just simply have to come back and relearn the lessons in your next life. So suicide is a terrible thing. Don't even think about it. Endure your hardships. That's what I did. I knew I was going to be tortured, and I knew that I was going to be nailed to a cross. I knew it was going to be incredibly painful, and it was. But I endured it because I knew that I was going to resurrect. You need to endure your human life with all the pain and suffering and grief that's in it, because you know your reward is your soul returning to heaven and living your eternal life in a magnificent area, heaven. So everything in my life is actually very similar to everything that every human goes through. I wanted to know what it was like to be a human. I wanted to know love. I wanted to know what they felt, grief. I wanted to know what it was really like. And I felt great grief in my human life. I wanted to know what it was like for humans to feel pain. And believe me, when I died upon the cross, I felt real pain. And I wanted them to know what it was like when their soul goes to heaven. And my soul went to heaven. And then I resurrected my body. And the whole resurrection thing, the miracle, all of the things that I wanted humans to remember, that all took place. Now, humans can't go through the resurrection process, but they will go to heaven, and they will have a joyous greeting with their family members, and they will truly know the ultimate beauty of the world that I put together to them. So what can you do? Well, you can start by trying to help others build a foundation of faith. You will try and you will be rejected by many, but there will be those people that listen. And if you just simply change a single life, you've created a miracle for yourself. And you've done great things for when you return to heaven. There is no greater knowledge than the foundation of faith, the true knowledge that I exist, the true knowledge that I lived, and the true knowledge that if you follow my words, you will truly, truly have an incredible return to my heaven, which is truly undescribable. So just go forth, do your best. That's all you can do. I don't expect you to make great sacrifices. I expect you simply to do your best. Doing your best should not be a sacrifice. You should, if you do your best in all things, you will reap rewards in all things. There will be times that, in spite of doing your best, bad things take place. You will suffer death in your families. Your parents will probably pass before you. Your friends, you'll probably see bunches of your friends pass. But always rest assured that they're in a better place. That when they're with me in heaven, they're not suffering pain. They're not suffering grief. They can watch and they will see what's going on, and they will always be with you in spirit form. But the human that stays behind is one of the most difficult emotions to overcome, that of grief. Pray to me and I will try to guide you through your grief. Believe that spirits exist. And even though your family members are on the other side of the dimension, they're still close by. They will come and visit you. You won't see them, but they'll be there. They'll try to converse with you in your dreams, or maybe leave little subjects. Perhaps somebody will leave a coin in an unexpected place to let them know that they're with you. So they will be. I guarantee you that even though the spirit leaves human form, it doesn't go far. It can go into heaven and do what it wants to do, but it can return and be with you in spirit form. So have this great belief, this great foundation in faith, the great knowledge of God. I'm doing all I can to bring you the information you need. Tell others about it. Help spread the word, the good words, the words of love, the words of faith. That's really, really what I want. So I'm blessing all of you that listen. I do every week. That's your great reward for taking your time to hear these words. So know that I truly love all of you. I love everyone. I am truly with all of you, and I hear all of your words in prayer. So thank you once again for listening to my message. Tune in again next week. It'll be very close to the time that you commemorate my passing on the cross and celebrate my resurrection. Let's have a wonderful message next week. Let's do it together. Goodbye, and thank you so much for listening. Okay, another great message. They all are. We've got hundreds of them on our YouTube channel. It's in my name, Barry Strohm. Put in a weekly message for Jesus in the search, and you will find out just how many great messages he has for you. We'll be back again next week. As he said, it'll be a special message. So I always look forward to having the opportunity to speak with you and bringing you the words of God. So goodbye. Join us on Wednesday nights now for our Pathway to Knowledge show. We bring it on at 9:00 Eastern time. It's very interesting. It's different. We speak to spirits, but they're bringing you information that can make your life much better. Goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in.